How's it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with the Alabama Auburn Iron Bowl recap video. Alabama got the W 42-14. And how was that not enough for people to put Alabama in the national championship game? I mean, I know people are saying I don't want a rematch. You lost at home, but look at Oklahoma State. Lost to Iowa State at home. You cannot say a team that lost to the number one team in the country in overtime by 3 with all its missed opportunities does not deserve a shot over a team that lost to Iowa State. That should be done. Everybody should be booking their tickets to, their whole hotel reservations to New Orleans on January 8th. National Championship is January 9th, probably our next game. I'm excited. Can't wait to play a rematch with LSU. Hopefully we can get our special teams problems fixed. But now to the game. We pretty much dominated in every area of the game. Auburn had like 60 rushing yards, 60 passing yards, and most of that came in the second half. They had one first down in the first half, which is crazy. They scored 14 points, but one of those was on a fumble recovery for a touchdown, then on the kickoff. And one thing I'm going to harp on is Bobby Williams. If we're going to have a chance to beat LSU in the national championship game, is Bobby Williams really needs to fix what is going on with the special teams. First of all, on that kickoff, Cade Foster, his highlight tapes, if you watch them from high school, he looked like the best kicker you've ever seen in your life. Each kickoff, going in the end zone, every time, hitting 50-yard field goals. But look at him now. He can't make a field goal. He's kicking it to the 20-yard line on kickoffs. It's just absolutely unacceptable. And that if we have a chance to beat LSU, that's what we need to get fixed, is our special teams. We're going to have to make field goals. We're going to have to play great special teams. And that kickoff was to the 30-yard line or 20-yard line. That was terrible. And then Trey DePriest picked the wrong hole to take down Ontario McCaleb, and that cost us 7 points, and that put Auburn right back in the game. And if Auburn didn't get that kickoff, or the kickoff return for the touchdown, it would have been a way worse of a blowout than it was already. And Auburn pretty much stayed in the game to the fourth quarter because of that. But we pulled away in the fourth quarter. Trent Richardson had that Heisman run. Right now, I know I'm a homer, but I believe Trent Richardson on that one run won the Heisman. Really depends on how Andrew Luck plays against Notre Dame. If they blow out Notre Dame, it'll be really, really close. But if they play close against Notre Dame, or if they lose to Notre Dame, I'm pretty sure it's Trent Richardson to lose. It also depends how Robert Griffin does, and he plays, I think, Texas Tech and then Texas next week. I think so. I'm not sure, but right now, I believe it's Trent Richardson's to lose. AJ in this game, he played a lot better than he has in the past few weeks. He held the ball way too long, though. That was the one mistake he had all game, was he held the ball way too long on that what turned out to be a fumble return for a touchdown for Auburn. But yeah, we got the W. We have 365 days of bragging rights. If you live in Alabama, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody down here is either an Alabama-Auburn fan. You have a few LSU, Georgia mixed in, but for the most part, it's Alabama-Auburn. Can't wait to go to school Monday and brag. Next game, probably the national championship game. I cannot wait. Hopefully I'll be able to go, but it depends how Santa Claus treats me. I want to talk about Cade Foster a little more. I'm not the one to bash one individual player. Like, I've been backing up the statements on AJ, people bashing him, saying Phillip Sims needs a shot. No. AJ's been doing a lot better than people give him credit for. I don't want to go into that discussion, but with Cade Foster, that is just absolutely pathetic. As long as I've been following football, and you can ask anybody I know, I'm a nerd when it comes to football. Cade Foster is probably the worst kicker I've ever seen in my life. And that is a huge statement, and for me, that's my opinion. I don't know how he got those 2 touchbacks, probably just because of poor communication on the 2 kickoff returners, but his kickoffs, well, one of the reasons that we've not seen any more kickoff returns for touchdowns before the Georgia Southern game is because he kicks it so short that the kickoff return team doesn't have enough time to make the holes for the return man to get through them and score a touchdown. And it finally came back to bite us in the butt the past few weeks, and we have to get that fixed. Cade Foster, I freaking have an open tryout for kickers and see if anybody. I'm sure there's somebody on campus that can do as good, if not better, than Cade Foster. The only thing that Cade Foster brings to the table is he's built like a linebacker, and he's basically a better 12th man on or a better 11th man on kickoff returns. He can actually make a tackle, and he's pretty athletic. Right now, I think he'd be a better linebacker than he is a kicker, but we won the game. I'll try not to harp on the negatives, but that's one thing we have to get fixed by the national championship game. And what I just heard on CBS and on ESPN is, and they know, as most people in college football know, that we are going to have a rematch. I just hope Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State so you have some people that won't cry about it, because it's just getting ridiculous. Because you cannot, like I said, you cannot give a team of Oklahoma State who lost to Iowa State when they had like a 2-touchdown lead, 3-touchdown lead, and they lost Iowa State. That's unacceptable. And hopefully Oklahoma will beat Oklahoma State, so you just have people not having that argument. And hopefully, I like Virginia Tech. I pull for them. Don V310, if you're watching this, I like your videos. You got me. I'm pulling for Virginia Tech a lot, but if they lose to Clemson, that will hopefully die down some people from there saying that one loss Virginia Tech should go over in Alabama. Because as much as I hate to say it, because I like pulling for Virginia Tech, but they had that good win against Virginia, but they haven't really played anybody. Their out of conference schedule was like East Carolina, Appalachian State, schools like that, and they actually almost got beat by East Carolina, if you keep that in mind. But back to the game, Trent Richardson had 203 rushing yards, and it just got really white in here. I don't know why, but 203 rushing yards. Justin Fowler, a guy I like a lot. He'll be back next year along with Eddie Lacy. He had a great touchdown run, put the game out of hand. Clint Mosley could get nothing going. He had 60 yards passing, and a lot of those were on like screen passes. I don't think he had one pass downfield really. Michael Dowers, I think we had 49 rushing yards. We kept him intact. Ontario McCaleb got to the outside a few times. For the most part, we kept him in check. They got nothing fancy on us. Defense let 0 points get across the board. It's all on the on turnovers and the kickoff. So this could have been a 42-0 game. It could have been worse than that if we'd have done the correct assignments. If AJ could have got rid of that ball, or if we could have recovered that ball, or if we could have not allowed that kickoff, it could have been way worse. But 42-14 is a pretty freaking good score, especially for a rivalry game like this. Because if this was a 1-point game, I would not be surprised at all. Doesn't even matter if Alabama was 11-0 going into this game, and if Auburn was 0-11. If this game is decided by 1 point, I wouldn't be really surprised at all, because it's such a big rivalry. And yeah, let's see. Brad Smelly had a great game. He had a bunch of clutch catches on third down in the first quarter. Had that one touchdown catch, and that was I'm usually the one to harp on the negatives of Jim McElwain's offensive play calling, but that play call, that flea flicker, was a great call, because we were that drive where hitting Auburn's defensive line in the mouth with Trent Richardson, and they had that flea flicker. Kenny Bell was wide open, and we scored. So that was a great play call on Jim McElwain's defense. And I'm the one, like I said, I'm always the one to harp on the bad play calls of Jim McElwain. But Bobby Williams needs to get something fixed with that special teams. I'm sure. I don't want to harp on him too much because of this. We won by 28 points, something like that, 38 points. But Bobby Williams' job, I could say, is kind of in jeopardy if he doesn't get anything fixed by the next game. But we will see you in New Orleans. That was a great win. Have 365 days to brag in this game. Trent Richardson probably, in my opinion, won the Heisman on that one specific run. The last 2 years to get combined, I don't think we've had a runner over, or as a team, rushed over 100 yards, and Trent Richardson single-handedly on 27 carries ran for 203 yards, so that's great. AJ had no turnovers. I don't think we had that one turnover on offense, but other than that, we had pretty much executed great on the offensive side of the ball, as we did on the defensive side of the ball. Had no busted plays, played sound against the run. They only had a few They got most of their offensive yards in the fourth quarter. We kind of backed off, kind of make sure they had no big plays through the air, and they didn't. Like I said, D. Milliner had that interception return for a touchdown. We went for 2, got it. That was a pretty good play. I wish we would have kept that in the bag for another game, the LSU game, but nonetheless, we won the game 42-14. Roll Tide all the way. We will see you in New Orleans, and have a 365 days to brag about this win for Roll Tide.